The January 6th committee held its final hearing yesterday. They unanimously voted in favor of referring Trump to the Department of Justice for criminal charges. Those charges include insurrection and 3 other federal crimes. It's now up to the Department of Justice, which is already investigating the former president, to decide if they will end up charging him. That's the big question. So DBL Nation, got to hear your opinion on this. Should former President Trump be charged for these crimes, yes or no? Go to our DBLvote.com. Go to DBLvote.com to weigh in. Go to our tag board. Tori, when I was giving the tease, you were shaking your head. Tell me why you're so confident.
Because of this man. If we can put him up on the screen. His name is Mr. Jack Smith. It sounds like I'm making him up. I am not. He is a prosecutor in The Hague. And Merrick Garland, who, if you don't know, is the attorney general who decides that it all lands on Merrick Garland's desk, has appointed him to be the counsel to prosecute so he can step back. This man, Jack Smith, is fair, unbiased, and has already prosecuted a very popular president in Kosovo. He's not scared to go after the political climate of the group. If he's in charge, this will be a much more aggressive take than we've seen from any other prosecutor. And if it's unanimous, like we said, it clearly will go to criminal charges.
But then if it does, do we want that smoke? Does anybody want to talk about putting a former president behind bars? If you move forward
if he incited a violent mob to take over our democracy, then yeah.
Yes, of course, on paper, Tori. But if you do that, the fallout from that will be heavy. I mean, we saw with January 6th what a poorly organized group of people was able to do. If people see that their beloved leader behind bars, it's going to be an issue, Erica. And we just can't act like he's just going to go to jail like anybody else. I mean, it could maybe tear this country apart.
So we should be held hostage by the idea of people retaliating? I mean, if that's the case, then what stops big mobs of people from retaliating for anyone who has a platform and a lot of followers?
Or what's our justice system for?
Again,
You're worried about the base being fired up.
It's not even just the base. It's what is we as a country that looks to stabilize the world. What does it look like when one of your former leaders, your recent former leaders, is in jail?
What does it look like when he's taken action to make sure that he's in jail? Like, I feel like, I don't know. It's like the court of public opinion. Of course, we know it is a very powerful court.
Right.
We know that people can put action behind it, but we cannot be held hostage by the idea of people putting action behind it.
What if he's not charged? What would you say to that? And then another question really quickly, Tori, I'm just going to throw it out at you. Do you think that there's merit to many people, some of our viewers, saying that this committee was biased?
I again want to repeat that this was a bipartisan committee. This was not all Democrats, all liberals. You had a mix in there, and they unanimously decided from a diverse group of human beings to charge him with 4 counts, including incitement. You don't take that lightly.
What if he's not charged?
Then there will be call to recall Merrick Garland, and there will be people that will be furious at the people in the committee. This will be a disaster for the other side if he is not held accountable.
If the prosecutor you just touted,
Jack Smith,
decides not to prosecute, will that be enough for you to say, okay, perhaps he's not guilty?
I want to see him charged because of the amount of evidence that I saw with my own eyes in the January 6th committee. They all agree. We agree. At some point, I'm not saying he should be convicted, but hold the man accountable. That makes our country look stronger.
Agreed.
All right. I think there's going to be a lot of fallout.
Let's see our results, though. 78% of our viewers believe that the DOJ should charge former President Trump, as opposed to 22%. Interesting.